laugh right here. I knew the chat was going to laugh over there. And you already know you're already on game, and you're already anticipating some of those things. But you cannot do it if you don't hone in on one story that you're saying, I'm going to tell this story. I'm going to always find a way to tell this story. It might be your personal story, it might be another story. And it doesn't have to be long. You can have different stories. I'm always telling that story about my first speaking engagement because people ask about it. I want to know, how'd you know? The lady walked up to me. She said, "You were great tonight. I won a ribbon for best speaker." She said, "Would like you come talk to our students." And she said, "How much do you charge?" I said, "How much do you pay?" Right? Because I had no idea. Listen, that's a quick story. It's like a signature story. People have heard me tell my story over and over again about me moving to Atlanta, Georgia. I was 24 years old. I was a 24-year-old broke saxophone player with no saxophone. And I moved to Atlanta, Georgia with me and just my little brother, 12 years old, right? Just me and my little brother. Well, people know this story. And what happened is in the audience, yeah, they were looking for my content. But because there's so much content in the market, because a lot of principles are the same, one thing that's guaranteed to differentiate you every time from anybody you talk to is your story. Even if it's a similar story, it ain't the exact same story. And if you can tell the story even better, then you're going to have people talking about you. So you got to focus on crafting your offer and your signature speech. That's your stump speech. All right. Now, let me give you some more and I'll circle back around because some people always ask me, well, how do I find my signature speech? In fact, let me touch on that. Your signature speech is the thing that you feel compelled to talk to people about, the thing that really gets people inside of you. It's a transformational moment. It's a time that you help somebody out. It's about overcoming some odds that nobody ever thought you could overcome. It's about aha moment when you're like, oh, this is when I knew I should have did this. Those are signature speeches, and those are speeches that get talked about all the time, and they're part of your offer. This stuff doesn't happen by accident. You got to craft it, right? Now, here we go. Watch. You got to learn who to contact, where they are, and what to say to them. Listen, you have to learn who to contact, where they are, and what to say to them if you want more gigs. I spend a lot of time on the phone calling people. I've done a lot of LinkedIn, sending messages back and forth. I learned how to learn how to network with people because I want to know who to contact. Now, here's the secret sauce to that. We gave you the answer to how to do that way on the first day. That is, ask and listen more than you talk and tell. Speakers, especially people that want to be speakers, think that you need to always be speaking. You don't, okay? What you need to be doing is making people feel like my audience is going to love you, right? And you cannot do that if you're always running your mouth. Now, so what you have to do is, in order to learn who to contact, that would require you to ask some questions. To find out where they are, that will require you to do what? Ask some questions and what to say to them. This is one of the biggest mistakes I made as a speaker. I was engaging. That's just my personality. I can get up in front of the room. But I had a hard time because I might be talking like the audience, but I wasn't talking in the language of the check signers and the decision makers. That's a very big deal. I didn't know what to say to them. I'm going to give it to you all from the standpoint of the youth market, right? Somebody will come up to me and say, Al, we think you should go talk to such and such principal, such and such assistant principal, or we think you should go talk to a campus activities director or somebody like that, right? And I will figure out where they are. You could use LinkedIn. You could do a search. You could do searches for conferences in your industry and start to find out where these people are, what magazines are they reading, what do they subscribe to, where are they, how can I find them, right? But I'm going to tell you, finding them and figuring out who to contact, listen, you can either ask me, somebody like me, you can do the search yourself. But even if you find them, that's not where I was finding most speakers had a problem. So the problem they would have is you don't know exactly what to say to them when you start talking. You want to tell them about how great you are. I just make this mistake all the time. For a little while, I thought emotional intelligence was going to be like a hot thing. I thought if students knew emotional intelligence, oh man, can you imagine if students was more emotionally intelligent? Well, when I was calling up the high schools and talking to them, that wasn't the right language. I didn't understand until I started asking questions to say things like this. I don't need to lead with emotional intelligence. I needed to lead with stuff like this. Yeah, I got a great program for your students to keep them engaged for lots of activities, keep them on the front of their seats. It's fun, and it will help them prepare and be ready for college and career. So it helps them be college and career ready. You know why I started saying that? Because a counselor, a principal, a superintendent started explaining to me, listen, our goal is we got to get our students college and career ready. I wasn't saying that. I was too busy trying. So you meet with the audience. You got to focus on the audience. Don't get me wrong. But I was too busy thinking about telling them how great my program is and how my idea is so revolutionary. Listen, you don't need a brand new idea all the time. You can get paid millions of dollars talking about something that people already know, if you know how to package it right, and if you're talking in terms of their language. So you want more gigs, you got to know what to say, not just to the audience, but you got to know what to say to the decision makers and the check signers, and they're not always one and the same. All right. The next thing is you got to present your offer as much as you can. You've already been told of that. This is us. We got an offer mindset. That is, every time you get a chance, you got to present your offer. Does it mean you should be calling people? I don't know. You could. I'm not saying you have to. There's the things I've done, but the principle is present your offer as much as you can, however you can. I'm that dude that got on the phone and called every community college and college and five in the 5-state areas. I live in Georgia right now, Atlanta, Georgia, right? Every state that touched the state of Georgia, I called every single, and I mean every single one, all the colleges and community colleges. I was calling them all because I was trying to present my offer. The crazy part is I didn't know what to say to them at first. So I got some luck, but I didn't have all the luck. Now, is that the only way to present your offer? No. Y'all heard ways all weekend long how to present your offer. I started learning on my website. At first when people were landing, I had to do a better job of presenting my offer. As I got more notoriety and I became more well-known, then things changed. I can direct them to certain things. I don't have to offer immediately, but at first I need to let them know that they're in the right place. So you got to present your offer as much as you can. All right. And here's the next thing. This is probably the best secret tip I can give you on this right here. Other than making sure you get a mentor or a coach or somebody who can give you the insight to help jumpstart on some of this stuff. But you see that one's in purple on purpose. It said level up your network. There's not one expert that y'all saw this weekend that came to us and pitched us for the gig. And it had to. You know why? Because it's all one big network. That speakers know speakers, experts know experts, millionaires know millionaires. When me and Lawrence were talking about this thing, that's all we had to do. We didn't have to go searching. Believe it or not, we didn't need a speakers bureau. We didn't need nothing. It was the network. If you level up your network, you will get more gigs. I'm telling you, you will be surprised. And yes, you will get more paid speaking engagements if you level up your network. That's not an easy thing to do. You could do that the long way or the hard way. This right here, this is no cap. I am telling you, there's a reason why you want to be part of mastermind groups and networking, right? It's because it instantly levels up it takes the quality of your network to another level. This is for anybody. Not just for speaking, anybody would get more business if they level up their network, but speakers don't always understand that, right? So if you level up your network, I guarantee you will get more gigs, paid gigs coming your way. All right, here's the next thing. So now I'm gonna show you something about these first two ways in 1 second. All right, I will show you. Just watch. Now here's the thing about this one. So you will get higher fees if you do these things right here, because that's the next thing. So it's common sense. If you get more gigs and people see you more often, then you will get higher fees. So all those simple steps that I gave you from the first, this is like one of those things where you I got to do everything from the first bucket, from the first pile, so that the next pile will start to work. This is how it works, okay? If you get more gigs, then naturally your fees start to increase because you're perceived as being more of a thought leader, right? Now, so you can get more gigs. Here's the next thing. All right. You got to have the confidence to ask. Let me pause right here for a minute. You have not been scared or nervous until you got to ask somebody for $10,000, $15,000 and you're not sure if you deserve it or not. That's not cool. You got to get that confidence in yourself first. So you need to know that your product has the right value, the right worth, and that you are asking something that is within reason. But at a certain point in time, I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter, man. I just need to have the confidence to ask. When they say, how much is your fee? I need to come out, say it comfortably. Listen, people Al, did you used to practice your talks in the mirror? I did. But you know, I used to really practice. I used to practice to ask. I used to look myself in the mirror and say, she's going to ask you what your fee is. And this is what you're going to say, right? It didn't care. My fees jumped from throughout the years. It didn't matter if I was at the $1,800, $3,500 levels, if I was asking for $5,000, $10,000, or I've even had proposals where I asked for 50 grand, right? So now it just depends. But I practiced I gotta have the confidence to ask. I gotta have how you gonna get something you ain't asking for? Hey, it's going to be impossible, okay? So you have to have the confidence, develop the confidence to ask. Believe it or not, that confidence comes from doing more gigs, okay? Now, here's the next thing. You got to increase your brand value. There's two main reasons that people hire speakers. This is it. There's only two main reasons for speakers. Either A, you have a tremendous amount of content and value to offer. B, you put butts in seats. Now, how high or how valuable your content is, or how many butts you can put in the seat, or how many eyes you can put on the camera, it's dependent on the level of your brand. So the more you increase your brand value, the more you can have higher fees. Now, notice I didn't say the more you increase your expertise and things of that nature, because it depends. That's not the only thing that increases your brand value. A lot of things increase your brand value, like getting more gigs, or having the confidence to ask, or being part of a higher value network, being seen more often. You have to increase your brand, the value of your brand, and this is a matter of perception. So, it has to do with being able to tell your story better. It has to do with being able to deliver better, whether it's your speaking ability, be able to close the deal, keep people engaged, things of that nature. But you got to find a way to increase the value of your brand if you want to get higher fees, right? Now, here's the next thing. You can find a more profitable niche. At a certain point in time, I realized, Al, you're not getting no more money out of these high schools. I would like to get higher fees. Thus, I need to expand or find a different niche. That doesn't mean I had to abandon one niche, but after you get one thing going and you really focus in one niche and you become a rocket star and you got a nice position in that niche, we tell people all the time, yes, then you can expand. Can you start to look at another niche? Yes, you can. You're probably only I know this for a fact. You will only occupy one place in the mind of the market. Let me say it again. You will only occupy one place in the mind of the market. That does not mean you can't make money in other niches. Steve Harvey, for many folks, will always be comedian. That's what he says, right? I mean, that's the first thing we think of, because that's how we met him. That's the spot he occupies in the mind for you, in your mind. Now, that doesn't mean for everybody that's where some people are like, Steve Harvey, oh, you mean the host? That's the host of Family Feud. That's the spot he occupies. They start thinking about that. Everything else is he's the host of Family Feud. Oh yeah, and he does this and he does that. So you can find a more profitable niche if you need to, right? Now here's the thing about this. No, wait. Before I go to that, let me rewind. When we started off this weekend, one of the first things I told you all is this. And I don't care what it is. In this world, especially when it comes to us making money, there are workers and employees, right? There are managers and there are owners and founders. That's how it works, right? And you need all three, but the problem is when you only been trained to think like the first two, it's very hard to be good. That is very hard to be a great owner or a great founder if you're only thinking like an employee. So I'm gonna break some high science down for y'all, because this used to happen to me all the time. Since I jumped into the speaking business, coming straight from being an executive chef, that's a manager, and running 12 restaurants, you know what I'm saying? Since I jumped right into becoming a speaker from there, I still have remnants of an employee mindset and a manager mindset. What do you mean by that, Al? I'm going to show you all these tips I just showed y'all. We're going to back up right here. I'm going to show y'all from the beginning, right? So we're talking about all these things that I said do right here. If you look at all of them, and when we're talking about doing these things right here, level up your network is a good one, right? But when we talk about these things right here, the top of that line says, get more gigs. You know what that equals? You can only do but so many gigs in an hour. That's trading dollars for hours. High science. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Even as a speaker, you do something for an hour or more, you get paid for that time that you were speaking. That means I do something and I get paid for it. That's what employees do. So therefore, as I'm thinking like an employee at first, I'm thinking like I need to fill up my whole calendar. I need to get it filled. And I did. And I made more money. But there's still a limit to that, right? So only but so many gigs you can do a year. There's some years I had 120, 130 gigs. It's a lot, trust me, right? Now, here's the thing. Employees think like this. If I want to make more money, I either need what? I need another job, an extra job, or I need to work extra hours. When you say I want more gigs, and that's the only path and the only thing you got, that means you want to work more hours. Think of that. That's an employee manager type of mindset. I'm not saying it's bad because speakers make more money, but that can't be the only way you look at it. Let me keep going. Employer manager mindset. Walk through this thing. If we come over here and say, but I got to get higher fees, Al, you trying to tell me if I'm getting higher fees, if I'm getting $10,000 an hour and I'm trying to get more than that, is that still thinking like an employer and a manager? Let me say, there's nothing wrong with getting a raise, nothing wrong with doing that. But if you're asking for a raise, right? That's what managers and employees do. You need a raise. Okay, I can only work a certain number of hours. So if I want to make more money, I got to get more hours, more gigs, right? If I want to make more money, I got to get a raise, higher fees, right? This is what I'm chasing this thing. I'm trying to figure this out. And I started realizing this is not good because this is not what business owners do. That's not the only way they think. Business owners think about this last option right here. That is, you know what? To maximize my profits, I need to offer more. I don't necessarily need to spend more hours. It would be nice to have more gigs if that's what you want. It'd be nice to have higher fees. But as sooner or later, unless you're a celebrity, you're going to run into a cap. Trust me and believe me, it happens. Now, it could be because it could be because they got a budget issue. It could be because you're not a celebrity, or that's what the market will bear. I told y'all, even in the youth market, I had to start realizing I need a more profitable niche. Looking for a more profitable niche is the same thing as saying I need to find a different job or a different company or somewhere else that's going to pay me a little bit more money. There's only but so many times you can do that. Nothing wrong with it, but watch this. So if you want to maximize your profits, you got to learn to offer more. It's when I started thinking about B2C and B2B, and I'm going to put some things on this screen, and it's not even all of them, but I'm going to give y'all a few of them. This is like, okay, I don't necessarily need more gigs necessarily. What I need to be able to do is take that same gig, right? I don't even necessarily need to give me a higher fee. I need them to give me a fee, right? But I need to be able to go to this same gig and pack a whole lot more to offer in there so that I can increase the value of what I'm getting back for that 1 hour. Think about it, or for that full day or whatever it is. Here it is. So, speakers will tell you, it's real easy for me to start spotting speakers who are top speakers in the market because I just ask them about their back of the room sales. That's called post-event. I start asking them about what's your post-event sales like, and very quickly I will know within a short amount of time what level speaker you are, because I know that a lot of speakers, many speakers, if you get them down, pull them to the side, they'll be like, shoot, I got paid $5,000 for the gig, but I made 12 in the back. This is how we talk. So just the post event. Now, think about it, the same amount of time right there, but all of a sudden you got twice as more because you had something to offer. You offered more. There's merchandise, book sales, curricula. That's the plural for curriculum, right? Curricula. Yes, you can at a post event. I call it post event. At the end of an event, doesn't matter if it's virtual or if it is or if it's live, right? You can sell. I've seen, especially in the education market, I've seen guys in the back of the room selling $3,000, $5,000 curriculums, selling multiple ones, right? Training materials, media downloads. Should I be selling a book in the back of the room, or should I have audio program or something they can download, or anything like along those lines? Coaching programs. There's something else you can sell in the back of the room, right? These things allow you to say, you know what? Okay, I see the profit centers. I don't necessarily need more gigs all the time. What I need is more to offer. I'm going to keep going. Let me unpack it some more for y'all. So that's the business to consumer side. That is, the audience is there, and I got something else that I want to offer to the audience. But on the event planner side, that's the person who paid for you to come in, right? It's a lot of stuff you can offer them. That's B2B. That's not just black to black, right? That is black. That's business to business right there. Right. So that is, you should have other things that increase the value that you can offer to the event planner, whether it's a VIP meet and greet, class visits, that type of thing. That is like, I'll go and visit these class, or you know what? I'll have a special meet and greet, VIP meet and greet that's only for you and your executives, or that's only for you and the student council, or things of that nature. Extra breakout sessions. I can't tell you how many times I've won the gig and got a few extra $1,000 because I said, you know what? I got the keynote, but actually I'm selling y'all a package. I got a keynote and it comes with 2 breakout sessions. Or I flipped it around and did even better than that. This is what I'm saying. I started saying my services are for up to 3 hours, not just the keynote, because we can fan this out to other places. Why? Because I'm going to charge more and have a higher value on there, right? So bulk order products. At this point in my career, it's been like this for at least the last 8 years. I rarely am I trying to carry or cart a whole bunch of books with me somewhere. I do my best. My books is sold before I show up. Whatever I'm moving, the training materials, all that stuff is sold before I show up. I will offer a discount on my fee if I can get them to bulk order these products right here. I don't have to carry them. I ain't got to ship them, and they're there. That's not the only way to do it, but I'm saying I like bulk order products. You know why? Because they spread. Bulk order. Well, I remember the school district was bringing me in right here in DeKalb County, in Atlanta, Georgia. Right, school districts bring me in. They ain't got a whole lot of money. They don't have a whole lot of money. They're like, man, at this point in time, I don't know how many years ago this was, 7, 8 years, 9 years ago, something like that. It was low, man. They had like $1,500. And you know what I'm saying? At this point in time, I'm charging $7,500 for a keynote at that point in time. But I'm over here, they want me to come do some stuff for $1,500. So I'm listening to them. I'm like, all right, you want me to do some training for the students, right? You want to speak to some of the schools, some assemblies. And then you want me to do some stuff for the educators also. Okay. All right, and y'all trying to tell me you only got $1,500 per location? This is bothering my brain right here, right? I'm not liking it. But instantly, because I had experience at that point in time, without having to turn out a gig, without having to beg for a higher fee, anything else, it was no problem. I said, cool. So we can work that out for, $1,500. I can give you all a discount. Notice I said a discount because in the contract, it showed how much my normal fee is, and I gave them a community service discount. Boom. I don't care what you do. Never let anybody get away without knowing the full value of the thing that you're offering them. Y'all know how it is. You see it all the time on Amazon. It's crossed out. You see it all the time here. You see it all the time. Any website you go, boom, 10% off, 20% off. But they make sure they put the original price there. I see too many speakers take a discount on the gig or they negotiate something and you don't give them the real price tag. Okay. Always establish a real price tag. So they see this, what my real price is. And I simply said to them, now we can make this happen, but everybody who's going to be in attendance is going to need training materials in a book. I can't do the program, right? All of a sudden, it turns into an order for 1,000 books, right? You can't even understand. I'm like, this is so far beyond anything I would have been able to charge them. It's 1,000 books, and it happened over and over and over again. And that was the books for the students. Then you come back and say, listen, but the teachers that you want me to do this training for them, they got to have a manual. There's course materials, there's a manual to go with that. The manuals are $59 a piece, they're $99 a piece. It don't even matter. It's your training materials. I'm offering more in the same space because you know what? I'm not thinking like an employee or a manager anymore. I didn't think I needed, I don't need y'all to give me a raise. It would be nice if you did, but you don't have to, right? Because I know how to get more value anyway. So long-term consulting and curriculum development. I make tons off of this. I'm talking about multi-six-figure deals off of this thing right here. Long-term consulting is when you have the ability to walk up to an event plan and say, I appreciate you bringing me out. Great event is a keynote, but I have something else that I like to discuss with you about some long-term training for you and your organization, or for you and your students, or for you and your program, or for you or whoever, or for all the other chapters of your organization around the country, right? And so what happens is you start offering long-term consulting. Now you got recurring revenue. All right. And that's a different story. I'm packing more value in there. That's an upsell from the same hour that I spent speaking. Curriculum development. I can sit in my office and help them with curriculum development, right? They want your expertise and recurring gigs and things of that nature. I'm gonna tell you some stuff that I didn't put on there. I'll give you a few more. I could offer the event planner. Well, I guess it's in the consulting. I could offer the event planner help on putting the event together. I used to do this all the time up in Boston. I had this big event we should do every year with the district attorney up in Essex County, right? And so eventually they brought me in the first year. I was one of the keynote speakers. Next year, they wanted to put on this big youth conference, bring all these high school students from, all over the city. And my eyes are lighting up because I'm like, now, if y'all bringing the student counselors from all around the city and the counselors or a vice principal or administrator got to come with them, that means this is a concentrated event. This is more like a showcase event, okay? And so I'm like, hold on, I see this thing here, but what else can I do? Especially when they came and told me, well, we don't have a lot of money for speakers. Well, maybe we can give you a small consultant fee or something like that. And I said, well, hold on. Explain to me, what are y'all doing with the event? They said, well, we still trying to figure that out. I said, don't worry, I got you. I said, listen, let me put a package together for you all where I actually plan out the whole event from you from beginning to end, right? Okay. I'll set up the conference materials for you all. My company will provide the conference bags for you all, the sense bags and all this. We'll put everything that needs to go in the bag. We'll take care of all of that. Man, I end up doing the whole thing. T-shirts, planners, the doggone, my book is in every bag. That every school in that county got Duncan Nugget posters, the whole thing. And you know what? And only thing I did was offer them more. That was it. I didn't need to ask for higher fees or try to get more gigs. And the thing turned into a recurring gig for like 5 years or something crazy like that, man. So anyway, I'm trying to show you all something. This is a mentality thing. So I can't show you every way. There's no expert on here that can show you every way and give you an answer for every single thing you might encounter. But if you look at these experts that you saw all weekend, include me, Lawrence, Dr. Bush Watkins, and everybody else too, what you will notice how they were thinking about offering more. not this, can I get more gigs? Can I do more X, Y, and Z? But they're like, can I pack more value in here? Are there more things I can offer? Can I concentrate this thing? Because that's how owners think. That's how they think. They're like, I got X amount of employees working for me at this time. Not only do I get paid for my hours, for my dollars, but I get paid for them hours and from hours and dollars as well. That's what they're thinking. You come in, there's a reason McDonald's got an upsell. There's a reason any company you go to has an upsell. They want to offer you more on the back end. This is how you have to learn to think. This right here will help your business to explode. And I'm going to tell you, when I did this, I became an event planner's dream. Because they would show up, listen, they were like, this guy's great. First of all, he's always on time. He's always professional. He answers his emails on time. He's a great presenter, engaging, great content, right? But on top of that, he is helping us. So you got to make the event. First of all, you need to make the event planner a rock star because they got their job on the line just like you do. Right. So in other words, their job is to make sure they put on a good event and bring you in, or their business is to make sure they put on a great event and to bring you in. You're just a small piece of that a lot of times if you're the speaker. So you got to learn how to make the event planner a rock star just as much as you make your audience good. So don't always think, I don't care what your real business is, whatever size you look at, when you get a chance to speak, that can greatly augment not only just your visibility, but a chance for you to make all types of money. I'm always telling people you got to look at it from a B2C standpoint of view, but from a B2B standpoint of view as well. And if you do that, what will happen is, yes, you will get more gigs, but you won't even be concerned about how many gigs I got. The number of gigs I do every year has steadily decreased, and my revenues has steadily increased. Now think about that, okay? Because I don't want to be on the road 200 days out the year every year. That's stuff I did in the beginning. I don't want to be doing that forever, right? So I hope you all are understanding what I'm saying here about shifting your mindset. All right, now let me come over here to the chat real quick as we get ready to wrap this up. I'm gonna answer some questions. LW, you can come back. Let me look over here and see. So did you all understand what I was saying right there? Real quick in the chat here. Let me hear it. Say yes. You got what I'm saying? Thank you. They're like, yes, good. I'm trying to tell you the biggest mistakes I see from speakers. You can find out about how craft your message, all this other stuff, it works. But until you shift this up here, you got to change your mental model. You could be sitting right in a room with somebody. They can give you a tip and you can't get it. I mean, I read this quote one time. That thing blew my eyes. It's one of the best quotes I ever heard. It said, the lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding, right? So if you don't have the right mental model, you won't even see the stuff that's unfolding and being presented right in front of you, okay? So I hope you all are getting this. I hope it made a whole lot of sense to you. I'm going to bring Lawrence back on. We're getting ready to wrap up. I want an extra, this bonus time right here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I gave y'all bonus time. And and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to answer a few of you all's questions, but we will be back tomorrow. There's my brother. I was looking for it. What's going on, boys?
Not much, man. Not much. I was listening to you, and I was just reflecting on the fact that you stand out to me as definitely one of the top 3 to 5 people that I can think of in terms of amazing business partners that I've worked with. When you were just talking about how you engage with, and I'm telling y'all, this works. College professors can't teach you how to become a millionaire, how to make millions of dollars doing stuff like this. Al's made millions of dollars. I tell you, he said 1,200 paid speaking engagements, right? Was that the number, Al?
Mm-hmm. Over 1,200. Yep.
Times 1,000. I got my master's in math, so I can multiply. 1,200 times 1,000 is 1.2 million, and you charge far more than $1,000 per gig. You up 10, 50, so it's not about so much counting the money. It's really about saying that There are people that can show you exactly how to do these things, and people that can really talk to you about the theory. And so when I'm listening to you talk about just how great you are to work with, and how you packaged so many other things into the speaking gig, and just really you weren't playing that checker level, that first floor level thinking. You were going up to the third, fourth, and fifth floor to the executive suite, and you're like, look, I can play in your whole event. I've got a whole set of products, available to, like, there's a process to that. And I've seen you do that, right? Like, you've done that with us, and I mean, in the Black Business School, you've been invaluable to work with. And I really want everybody, as you're considering taking a look at Black Experts Empire, Al is in there, and he'll be mentoring you very closely and working with you on exactly what you're doing. And I'll be in there too. I don't know if I've done 1,200 speaking engagements, but I know I've done a lot. I've done myself. I haven't spoken as much as Al, but that type of thinking that he talks about, I remember when Lawrence and I, in the very beginning, I remember trying to get speaking engagements. It was really hard. I remember literally paying money to go give a speech, just pay, because when you take out all the money I spent on travel and all that, even if they gave me a little something, I wasn't making a profit. You're just trying to get out there. And when I think about going from there to literally to the point where now, I've turned down 15, 20 grand, to speak just because I wanted to spend time with my kids or whatever. It's like leveling up, right? And what we're offering in terms of supporting you is helping you level up. We don't just have the expertise and the knowledge. We also have a platform. We have hundreds of thousands, millions of people to follow. So the point of the matter is to say that what I like about working with you, Al, and I'll let you continue. I don't know if you have more you have to say, but what I like working with you is that you don't think on that first level. Like, you're not thinking like an employee, like, please hire me to do this job. You're thinking like a businessman. Like, he is a businessman and a businessman, if you know what I mean. And I get that, because that's exactly how me and Lawrence were thinking in the very beginning. Except the difference is, though, that you got to go through those knocks. Like, we've been in this game 15 years. I know you've been in it for 15, 20 years. So it takes time to learn these things, right? So that's what Black Experts Empire is all about. So go ahead, man. I don't know if you have more you want to add to that.
No, you came in. I'm gonna put this last thing up there. That's good. Watch this. I'm gonna tell you all, after we said all that stuff is great, but the thing you need to do is cut out the middleman, because all roads lead back to ownership. You could listen, the thing, because Boyce came up here giving me compliments. Check this out. We didn't need an organization. We didn't need nothing to do. We didn't need nothing. Only thing we needed was the Black Business School to make this thing happen this week. You know why? Because all roads lead back to ownership. When you own your own audience, you don't even have to worry about getting more gigs. You're like, I make all the gigs I want. So that's the final thing I wanted to say, boys. I'm glad you jumped on here just in time for that right there, man.
Yeah. The ownership piece is critical, and I really think that what we're seeing is a transition in thinking, amongst millions of Black people. And I really want everybody to understand that there's not even a need to compete or anything, because really what we're doing as a community is taking back what is ours. Like, this is the takeover. This is all of us going out here, and we're rejecting that old model of being somebody's employee and taking the crumbs. We're going for the big piece of chicken at the head of the table, and everybody can have a table. But it takes a certain skill set to build a table. You have to be able to build tables, build systems, build a process, build something that allows you the opportunity to own something. You ain't got to own everything, right? Capitalism teaches you got to own everything. You got to be number one. You got to be the best and the only one and all that. No, that crabs in the barrel stuff doesn't have to apply here. Everybody can own something and have their own little piece of land and work that land. And so we would love to be able to help you with that. That URL, what's blackexpertsempire.com? Is that?
Yep, I'll put that up on the screen too. You can head over to blackexpertsempire.com. Let me put that up on the screen for you all. And this is the, let me pull up that one more time. Right, I closed that by accident. Well, it's blackexpertsempire.com. That's what it is, blackexpertsempire.com. This weekend stands, this offer is going to be good, probably until, I know Lawrence has the countdown, but I think it is
Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m.
Okay, there it is. So you can make a one-time payment. And this is peanuts. Listen, I'm telling y'all, this is such a discount on a program like this. It's unbelievable, right? But you can get started for a one-time payment of $2,997 or monthly payments of $297 a month. And if you get started with us, we'll see you in class tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, if I could have found something like this in the very beginning, it would have been great. I would have gladly have done it. I mean, I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars that we spent doing things the wrong way, but I just wish I had a mentor. And the thing was that not only did I not know anybody who had really done it, who could actually mentor me, but I think we were kind of doing something that nobody was doing, like we were approaching it in a whole different way. I remember my two models in terms of scholars that I really wanted to emulate at the time was Cornel West and Michael Eric Dyson and Julianne Malveaux. And I became friends with all of them over time. And the thing was, what I noticed though, as I noticed vulnerabilities in their business model that concerned me. And the vulnerability was, okay, if you go give a speech, you're being hired kind of by a speakers bureau. The speakers bureau, if they drop you, then you get no more speeches. So that's why we created Great Black Speakers, because we wanted to own the speakers bureau. I said, okay, if you publish a book, well, you got a publishing company that's publishing your book. If you suddenly become unpopular, they get mad at you because you got a little too black on the Tuesday, then your book publisher can dump you. When you're on TV, you're on, CNN or NBC or some, media outlet that's owned by another person. And we know that, again, if you get a little too black, they'll chop you off. So I told Lawrence, I said, you know what? I can already see 1,000 ways they're going to fire me. If I ever even get that opportunity, they're going to take it away. And that's what they do. That's what economic warfare is all about. That's how it works. That's how you control, they control you with the money by cutting your purse string. So what we did was we said three things. One, we got to have our own speakers bureau. That was where Great Black Speakers came from. It's been around, since for 15 years. Lawrence runs it. It's been great. Two, we got to publish our own books. I've never had a book deal. I publish every single book on my own. I have sold tens of thousands of copies of my books. Three, we need our own media outlet. I learned that in 2008. 2008, I got into a back and forth with Bill O'Reilly on CNN. For 1 minute, I thought I had allies. I thought I had people that were backing me because I said, okay, Bill O'Reilly's a conservative, and we know Republicans are the only racists. They're the racists. The Democrats, those are the good guys, right? Right? And well, you know what? When the stuff really hits the fan, the black man, just like in the movies, the black man gets killed first. So literally, I don't talk about it much, but during the whole year that Obama was running, I've been pretty much blackballed from CNN. Like CNN they would book me. My publicist was booking me 3 times a week for CNN, Fox, all the networks. And then suddenly she said, every time they agree to book you, they say, okay, he'll be on tonight at 4:00. And then suddenly they'll call back and say, oh, we canceled. We're going in a different direction. And she said, I think you're on a list of people that they've just blackballed. So we lost our whole platform. So at that point, that's when we started building Your Black World and really go into the internet to say, we need to make sure that we will never be canceled by anybody. We want to make sure that we're not owned by anybody. And that's where all this stuff comes from that you guys see right now. And so I think that between myself and Al and Lawrence and all the other experts, I mean, this weekend you had over 20 experts that came in here. We're just 3. With over 20 people that came in and literally gave you something that is 100 times better than anything you've ever gotten in college. Give me a yes in the chat if you'll agree that what you've gotten from this platform, from this weekend or this platform or both, is better than anything you ever got in college. Give me a yes in the chat.
They're blowing up all kind of yeses and amens.
Yeah, and this is just what we did in the weekend. This isn't what we would do in an intense deep dive sort of private sort of course. So Black Experts Empire, that's what it is. That's it's not free because you can't run a business on free. But go out and look at other programs where you have people that have really done it, who have really achieved the goal, and look at how much they charge. Right? Look at how much your university charges you. What they probably some of y'all might be $100,000 in debt. We don't do that to you. We give you a money back guarantee. So if you're not happy, you can always get your money back. And then secondly, the rewards I've seen to be 100-fold, 1,000-fold. A lot of times it's just a matter of having the right conversation with the right people who can help you get over the humps and figure out the little stuff that you're never going to learn in school.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, you come over here and still dropping crazy dollars, man. Lawrence.
I feel like a veteran. I feel like I have stories, You
got a lot of stories, man.
I don't talk about them much because I'm living the story. You know what I mean? But every now and then I'll reflect on it. I'll say, man, this has been a journey. And so if I was to meet somebody like myself 15 years ago, I would want that guy to be able to find some opportunity without having to go through the 15 years that I went through. Because sometimes it wasn't fun, man. It was a lot of work. Yeah. So having people that can just sort of work with you, the quality of the network, what you mentioned about that, that's really important. When you're rolling with people that are not just motivated, but also have other things going on and are good at what they do, then what happens is you just start winning much easier than before when you're carrying around a bunch of dead weight. So getting into that network, like getting into Black Experts Empire, or any other group you decide to join, allows you to be surrounded by people that can help you. And next thing you know, everybody's doing well.
Yep, absolutely. L-Dub, are we going to have this Q&A tomorrow? You want to tell them something about a Q&A we having tomorrow morning?
Yep. So in about 20 minutes, you all will be receiving an email with a conference recap and a link to the Q&A that will be happening tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we answer as many questions as we could over the weekend, but I know you still may have more questions as it relates to Black Experts Empire and the next steps that you can take to start, building your empire based off of your expertise as well. So tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, me and Al will hop on Zoom and answer your questions. We'll probably go for about an hour or so. So please come with your questions handy if you're still on the fence. If not, if you're not on the fence, please head over to blackexpertsempire.com and give us a shot. As we stated many times before, it's 100% risk-free. So by the second or third week, you'll know if the program's for you or not.
Yep, I agree. So we went overtime for y'all. That's all I can say. We prove it. Yeah, we started on time. We went overtime. It's a free event, and we gave y'all a whole extra hour. Okay, so I don't know what else to say. Head over to blackexpertsempire.com. Boys, did you want to add anything else? Because I'm getting ready to close it down right here.
Well, you know what? I'll just say it was great hanging out with everybody, and I would be remiss. I hope everybody in the audience will join me in giving a thank you to the team that put this together. Not just Lauren, beyond even Lawrence and Al. There was Carmelita and Taryn and Duel and so many other people that played a part. Did I miss anybody?
Jonathan, he's another person.
Jonathan, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the thing, that teamwork piece is really important. As you achieve your goal, try to figure out who your team's going to be. And I believe that's one of the great benefits the Black Business School can give to you is we can be part of your team. We're happy to do that. And in fact, I think we're up to about 135,000 students in the Black Business School all around the world. And we have all different programs for all different budget levels. And basically the goal, the dream, when I left Syracuse University was to basically help to spark a movement toward a reclamation of the Black education market. I believe that I know that this institution is going to exist for hundreds of years after I'm gone. I've already put in my estate plan. It's already in my will, all of that stuff. A chunk of my assets are going to be left to the Black Business School, and we're going to have a board in place so that in a couple hundred years, we'll be standing up there with the Harvard universities of the world. Black people should own institutions. We need to own things. We need to really let go of everything else that we've been doing and focus on making sure that all of our children are prepared and trained to be owners and to be position themselves with economic strength. That is what we believe in. That is what we do. Our core values, our Black core 3. Black people should educate our own children, create our own jobs, and support Black businesses. If we do those 3 things, then we don't need a reparations check. We won't need a stimulus check. We won't need a welfare check. We won't even need an employee check. We will have a community that can do anything that we want to do because we are smarter than everybody else. We are the only group of people that has survived the slave dungeons. You're the descendant of that. We're the only group of people who survived the Middle Passage. We're the only group of people who survived 250 years of the most brutal slavery known to man and still came out shining. We survived 100 years of Jim Crow. We survived 40 years of mass incarceration. And we are also surviving everything that they're doing to us right now that we don't even know about. Right? Whatever COINTELPRO has in mind, they can't stop us. They can't kill us. They've been trying for 400 years. So what I'm saying to you is that you are exceptional. You are extraordinary. And I would be honored to be able to play some part in helping you unlock your extraordinary potential. And so whether you want to try Black Experts Empire, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's okay. But whatever it is, go for it. Don't be scared, and make yourself truly a reflection of Black excellence, because we know what that looks like. And when you put Black excellence and white supremacy in the same room, it's like white supremacy ain't even there. We dominate everything that we put our minds to. So can I hopefully get a quick amen before we bounce out of here? Thank you, guys. Thank you to everybody in the team, and God bless you guys. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care.
Yep. Take care.